I'm Elizabeth Shanahan-Jewett, and this is Local Matters. I hope this week has been good to you. Let's talk about what's happening in our area. Shakespeare in the Park comes to Plymouth through the Brown Box Theatre Project and funding provided by the Massachusetts Cultural Council. Founded in 2009 by Kyle Touston after studying theater at Emerson College in Boston, the Brown Box Theatre Project sees theater as a democratic art form and believes that theater doesn't live only in the academy, but in the streets. See the magic this group creates for yourself on Sunday, August 22nd on the Plymouth waterfront at Pilgrim Memorial State Park. The curtain goes up at 7:30 p.m. in a performance of Shakespeare's beloved comedy, Much Ado About Nothing, which debates preconceived notions about love and the value of trust. This performance is free, outdoors, and open to all audiences. No tickets needed. Blankets and lawn chairs are welcome. To learn more, visit the Brown Box Theatre Facebook page. Habitat for Humanity of Greater Plymouth is part of a global, nonprofit housing organization that builds homes, communities, and hope, and has a vision of a world in which everyone has a decent place to live. Julie Thompson checked in with Director of Development and Outreach, Amy Belmore.
Amy Belmore, Director of Development and Outreach for Habitat. Thank you so much for joining us today. Now, Elizabeth talked a little bit about your mission in the intro here, but can you talk a little bit about how long Habitat has been involved in Plymouth, in the area?
Yes, absolutely. And thank you, Julie, first of all, for having me today. I really appreciate your time. So Habitat for Humanity of Greater Plymouth came together. It was formed by a small group of neighbors out of Plimpton back in 1995. And they got together, they decided what they wanted to really focus on, and went through the process of becoming an official affiliate of Habitat Habitat for Humanity underneath the Habitat International umbrella. And all of that was formalized in 1997. So there was a kind of a couple of years of getting things together and becoming official, and we have been operating and building houses continuously ever since.
And let's talk a little bit about that. How many houses have you actually built?
So we've built 14 over that time, and just over the past couple of years, really, we've had a real push. So I know we're going to be talking about our builds a little bit down the road here in this talk, but we really had some strong momentum pre-pandemic, 2018, 2019. Pandemic affected us just like it affected everybody, but we were really happy to wrap up a couple of houses just earlier this year.
Oh, that's
so
wonderful.
Yeah, we're at 14, and then we also have we've done significant rehabs and remodels on another group of houses. I believe that's upwards of around 8 or 9 significant projects.
So I'll ask you about that again in a minute, about the rehabs that you do on houses. But about let's just talk for a minute about site acquisition. Everybody knows it's hard to find places to build houses for anybody. How do you go about that whole process?
Yeah, so there's a couple of different ways. For instance, our Kingston build that we finished just in 2019, early 2020. It's amazing to think. I sometimes think back that homeowner moved into his home literally 10 days before the world turned upside down. And, to think that how important your home became, how imperative it was to have a safe home where you could be in your own space. And the fact that he and his little ones found that space or were able to move in just 10 days prior was just astounding to me. So, but anyway, I digress.
That's okay.
So in terms of that particular piece of land was donated by an individual, which was lovely, fantastic. And we're always open to that. And we do have different conversations. That's one example of an individual donor providing land. But more commonly, we are working with municipalities to identify if there are parcels that they'd like to partner with us on. We all know around here how badly the affordable housing shortage is, and all of the towns in our service area have not met their criteria, the 10%. That is really the goal for all towns in Massachusetts to have 10% affordable housing, and our 6 towns are below that, as are most every town on the South Shore. I don't think anybody has hit that. that percentage.
So do the towns, when they've identified land, or you've identified land, do they actually give it to Habitat, or do you have to purchase it?
We've purchased it in the past. Sometimes, we actually in the most recent case with we built 3 homes down on Long Pond Road in Plymouth, and that was done through an extensive process that included town meeting vote and so forth. So that was very much a real exhaustive work with the town of Plymouth to make that happen. We purchased that land for $1, so you can't really say it was, that was more for the sake of ensuring the project would continue the way the town wanted it to. There's a whole lot of land surrounding it that is in conservation, which is great. And we were able to build two out of those 3 were dedicated to veterans, which again was something that the town and town meeting expressed as their desire. So, and we were very happy to
that's
work
wonderful.
Together in that.
Yeah, I remember talking to you about that. As a matter of fact, we had one of the homeowners on.
Exactly. Yeah, you guys
I think
have
a
been
couple
great.
years ago. Yeah, that was really that was great. Now, when
I will say, just so you know, though, in other town situations, it's not necessarily a purchase for $1. It's coming together on a reasonable.
You negotiate.
Yeah.
Now, when you do rehabs or renovations on homes, how does that process work? How are they identified, and how do you, I'm sure there's so many, how do you pick which one you'll do?
Yeah, so we kind of have 2 categories, but they all fall under the Brush with Kindness. So that's our program. It's ongoing, whether we're building a house or not. Our Brush with Kindness program is ongoing, and that is to provide. So kind of on the smaller and more common side, we're doing repairs, weatherization repairs, broken stairs, windows that need to be replaced, railings, things like that. Wheelchair ramp installations. That's something that we do more commonly. We're actually literally about to start one. I think it may have even started yesterday. So those are more common, and it's all through an application process. And all of the applicants do need to be low income qualified. And it's really kind of taking a look at what their needs are. One of our Brush with Kindness supervisor will go out and take a look at the home, make sure it's something that we can accomplish, and work together with the homeowner. We do ask, so those are on existing homes, and we do ask the homeowner to participate in the expense sharing of the materials. Labor is all free. It's all done by our experienced volunteers, but the materials costs, we do ask homeowners to participate in that. And then on the other side, we've done what I mentioned before, the larger renovations or rehabs. Those are less frequent, but we've done a number of them, and we are actually looking like we're about to embark on a new one in Plymouth for significant work in the home, this one in particular, to accommodate a new medical diagnosis in that home where real work needs to be done.
Yeah. Oh, good for you. That's wonderful. Now, all of this obviously costs money. So how do you fund Habitat? What is your major fundraisers, or how do you get your money?
Yeah, so it really does cost money. So combination of things. Again, we certainly write grants. That's something that we're doing on a regular basis, and we're fortunate to have received, inflow of that over the years. Some of our local banks and businesses have been, really supportive over the years, as well as foundations that are not local to us. We also host fundraisers on a regular basis that are open to the public. Of course, we had our big gala before COVID, and the golf tournament, and cooking demos, and things like that, motorcycle runs, and we'll get back to those things. I'm certain of it. We just hosted a really great fundraiser over at Moonrise Cinemas just 2 weeks ago. We were happy to be able to bring people together, our family essentially of supporters that have been longing to see each other, and we've been longing to see them. So that was a great night. And then we have our corporate sponsors and really good business partner friends that have been helpful.
Every year they're constantly supporting you financially. And talk to me about Restore. It's a store.
And of course the Restore. Thank you. Oh my gosh, how could I forget the Restore? So the Restore is our social enterprise. It's Habitat international social enterprise arm, and Habitat of Greater Plymouth actually opened the first Restore in Massachusetts. So the Restore sells gently used and donated furniture and appliances, lighting, building materials, home goods, things like that. We are located over in Carver, right next to Tractor Supply, so right on the Plimpton-Carver line. And we moved actually during COVID. It was a pre-planned move. We were in the process, and then it just became a little bit of a more gradual process because we couldn't open the doors for quite a long period of time. So all of the proceeds, when people purchase items there, furniture, whatever it might be, all of those proceeds directly support the mission of building homes and making repairs and everything that I've explained here today. And so that's a tremendous resource for us.
Sure. So people can actually just bring things or donate things. And I noticed on the website there's criteria exactly what you can take, what you can't take, and that it's very self-explanatory what you can do. Can people get a tax write-off or a tax deduction for things that they donate? Because I know a lot of people that's a big thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So we operate on donations. Without donations, the Restore doesn't run. So we welcome them. We do ask for descriptions, photos ahead of time, so we know what's coming our way and make sure that we can accept it.
Yep.
There are some things that we can't accept, as you mentioned, that are listed on the website.
Yeah.
And that we want to make sure everything's going to be saleable. We have really nice inventory in there. People are always shocked when they walk in and they see some of the really nice product available, unique. We only have one of this, one of that. So
right, exactly. One of a kind.
Yeah,
that's wonderful. So that's the Restore. And obviously, many hands make light work, and volunteerism is one of your biggest attributes. How do you get and keep volunteers?
Yeah, volunteers are our lifeblood without question. And so we have our core group of volunteers. They come back build after build after build. That's about 15 people or so. And then, of course, we're continuously reaching out to civic groups, church groups, youth, even high school students can participate to a degree in terms of community service. And so we'll put word out in newspapers, on social media, of course, is a huge arm of communication for us. But you can always, if you're interested, you can always sign up or indicate your interest. And then even if we don't have a particular project happening at that moment, you're on the list. You'll get contact when we're ready to go.
Perfect.
And I would also say too, some people don't think of it, but we also have behind the scenes volunteer work. When we're looking at land acquisition, we have lawyers helping us.
Sure.
We have realtors helping us. We have bankers helping us.
Right.
So
it's not just building.
I you don't want to get all swing a hammer.
There are other things. Right. There's other things people can do to help, which is wonderful. Excellent.
As well as the Restore.
Yes.
You can help the Restore.
Absolutely right. Okay. Amy, a bevy of information as always. Thank you for joining us today. Habitat for Humanity of Greater Plymouth. Thank you, and good luck this season, and good luck with the next build.
Thank you so much, Julie. Appreciate everything you guys do. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julie and Amy. Visit the Habitat for Humanity of Greater Plymouth website to learn more about upcoming projects or how you can volunteer and make a difference. The Duxbury Senior Center invites you to enjoy a delicious New England lobster roll while gathering with friends for an end-of-summer LGBTQ backyard party at the center. Everyone is welcome from all communities for this event taking place on August 19th from 4 to 5:30 p.m. There will be music, bocce, lawn games, friendship, and of course, fun. Visit the Duxbury Senior Center website to register. Local seniors Ben and Tom visited the Pembroke Public Library to talk with Youth Services librarian Melissa McCleary about what's new and upcoming at the library, and did not miss the opportunity to get book recommendations from a librarian.
I decided to become a librarian way late in high school, later than you're supposed to decide, really, and I'm scrambling to try and find the answer, and suddenly I realized that the answer I'm looking for is in the place I'm looking. My favorite book when I was a child was Goosebumps by R.L. Stine. Specifically, the Give Yourself Goosebumps was basically a choose your own adventure. I would put little sticky notes on it to make sure I could go back and get all the stories, but I enjoyed his writing a lot. When COVID hit, the one big thing was you can't see people, of course, you can't visit with others. So the thing I've missed most is story times in particular, because I get to be absolutely ridiculous while I'm also secretly teaching kids the alphabet and cooperation and raising your hand and waiting your turn. But hearing small little giggles when I'm like, oh, does anyone see the bear in the book? And they're like, it's right there! I'm like, where is, oh! It's just so much fun to be absolutely silly so that the kids can feel silly too. The library has been open since February 25th consistently, but things have been going even better since June 2nd when we put out furniture. People have been able to sit down and study. Kids can put together puzzles or play with our very popular rocket ship, and it's just nice that people can spend more time in here. For young adult books, right now mysteries are huge. I'm recommending Elatsoe by Darcy Little Badger, who's of the Lipan Apache tribe, and she based her writing upon her experiences with her tribe there. So in addition to being a mystery and a fantasy, it also has a lot of cultural elements she's brought in. One other very exciting thing we have here going on at the library is we're going to have Food for Fines, where you can bring in food to donate to our local food pantry, and we will clear your account of whatever fines you've got. If it's 10 cents, if it's $10, don't worry about it. We're trying to make sure that everyone can have access to the library going forward. So you'll be donating to a local community who needs it, and you'll be getting rid of your fines. So we're very excited to offer that throughout the summer months to help everyone just reset their accounts and get ready to go for the next year. To our library patrons in our community, we just want to say that we are open, we are here, and we'd love to have you. You can come in, you can sit down, you can chat with us, and basically do all sorts of things that you did before. Just right now, we're excited to see everyone, so please stop by if you can.
August marks 101 years since the rights of women to legally vote in the United States was ratified in the 19th Amendment to our Constitution. To commemorate, the Plymouth Area League of Women Voters, together with the Plymouth Public Library, invite you to an August 21st event in the Otto Falo Room from 2 to 3 p.m. Meet Susan B. Anthony, a singular feminist, will be a one-person presentation of history reenactor Jessa Piella, playing this important leader in women's suffrage. Anthony spent her life working for women's rights. Arrested for voting illegally in the 1872 re-election of Ulysses S. Grant, she led the National American Women's Suffrage Association until 1900. This program is set in 1898, when she was a popular speaker on the national circuit. Although she herself did not live to see it, the 19th Amendment, ratified in 1920, was co-named the Susan B. Anthony Amendment in her honor. This entertaining and informative 45-minute program will be followed by an informal question and answer session and is appropriate for audiences age 10 and up. Register through the Plymouth Public Library website. The Marshfield Fair is one of the premier yearly events of southeastern Massachusetts, so much fun, and returns this year on August 20th through the 29th. And if you happen to fall into the more mature range of our viewers, you'll be happy to know that August 24th is Free Senior Day at the fair, and the Pembroke Council on Aging has arranged for transportation to leave the senior center at noon. Go and check out the animals, arts and crafts, or just plain people watch. Entrance is free, but of course you must purchase your own ride tickets, food, and drinks. Call 781-294-8220 to sign up. Disney movies and theme parks have been in most of our lives for as long as we can remember. They bring a sense of joy and magic to kids and make older generations feel like kids again. The Kingston Public Library loves Disney too and invites fans of all ages to the Adams Center for an ultimate Disney day full of crafts, games, and a Disney dance party. The event takes place on Friday, August 20th from 1 to 3 p.m. Registration is required and dress up is encouraged. So get out your favorite Disney character costume and visit the library website to reserve your spot. In March of 2020, the Kingston Council on Aging's kitchen and administrative staff began delivering between 60 to 90 meals each week to Kingston seniors. In September, they implemented the Grab and Go supper program, serving hundreds of meals on Tuesday afternoons, which were picked up each week at the center, even during the height of the pandemic when the center was closed. Now, in August of 2021, the center has reached another milestone in its reopening and is happy to announce the return of their Thursday on-site lunches. The meal program begins seating at 11 o'clock and costs $3 for Kingston residents, $4 for non-residents. Registration is required by the Friday prior to the lunch date. To register, contact Programs and Activities Coordinator Brenda Fitzgerald at 781-831-6042. If you've been sitting outside or leaving your windows open at night lately, you'll note that the sounds of summer are accompanied by a natural soundscape that changes with the season. Join Mass Audubon South Shore for an online presentation focusing on the creatures making all that noise. Instructors Doug Lowry and Martha Gatch will explain the sound production and specialized animal anatomy involved in creating it, along with the unique behaviors of sound-producing insects. Learn to differentiate and recognize common night sounds and the timing when you're most likely to hear them. To register for this August 24th event taking place from 7 to 8 p.m., visit the Mass Audubon Facebook page or contact education@massaudubon.org for more information. Next, courtesy of Plymouth Violins located right here in downtown Plymouth, we welcome a performance by Plymouth Poet Laureate Stephan Delbos and violinist Angelica Vendetti.
Poem for Hedge House and Plymouth Cordage. Help weave this heart rope, this cordage of wordage, woven memories, imagination, image and nation, individuals' dreams. 400 years, 12,614,400,000 seconds. We weave the cordage of wordage, a rope across horizon gathering every moment we find and write and tell the stories. We take the rope in dinghies and set off toward Europe. Others stay in Plymouth, weaving the rope we carry back eastward around the world, the wars, the words, the bombs, the tragedies and joys, the people, the love, the syllables make lifelines that keep us from drifting into the empty whirlpool of what's forgotten. Shivering pilgrims, all aboard over a month, 13 years from home, one birth, one death at sea, desperation their daily ration, water, 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 waves, then Cape Cod cupped hand, a continent still big enough for everyone, for now an etching in black and white, ink and paper, the contrast colors of their pauper clothes. When white men first came ashore, and Wampanoag braves watched from shadowy pine patches, there was a mirror between them. Each saw the limits of their imagination reflected in the other, Protestants and the people of dawn, a mirror between them no attack could shatter, only understanding to clarify. For 400 years we must still try to clarify. We must find and learn and tell the stories. Mercy Otis Warren writing plays in Plymouth to inspire and provoke the American Revolution. The Fragment Society sewing clothes for locals in need 200 years and counting. Marie Vincent, gill spinner at Plymouth Cordage, stopping a whirling flyer for a moment to fix a break in the yarn in 1947. Or Alba Thompson winning 7 Air Force ribbons, then retiring to become the first female selectman in Plymouth. Stories woven into history. We shape and are shaped by our location. Plymouth, pliant mouth, always telling stories. The lips of language kiss the limits of recollection. Pumpkin comes from Poppacan, meaning grows forth round. Wampanoag words. Massachusetts, place of the foothill. Plymouth from Plymouth, England, meaning mouth of the river Plym. A story. You are standing on a coast's crooked shoulder, where gauze white waves sling shore and sand dunes frame dreams. Where immigrant Mediterranean fishermen with missing thumbs used to huddle in fragrant fog from coffee mugs and briar pipes. Night floats the diving bell moon above a wooden flower docked in the harbor. And these words are strands. In the cordage we are weaving, we learn everything we can and share it. We are gathering and carrying this rope around the world. We set out back eastwards from Plymouth, MA to UK, zigzag across all continents, collecting stories and sending them back to be woven, to keep us together, and everyone helps as we carry the rope under the Golden Gate, over the Rockies, eastward across Ohio, and here we are at Old Exit 6, coming back into town to tie the knot where everything started, where this community is still telling its story. Let's tie the knot here.
Thank you so much, Stephan, Angelica, and Plymouth Violins. And thank you for staying with us for this episode of Local Matters. From all of us at PAC TV, have a safe and happy week. We will see you next time.